Good morning. I'm sure you're aware that we've been doing the thought for the day each day as a church, and the themes we're using is the parables that Jesus told. And so I'm going to introduce a new parable to you this morning. But I want to ask a question first. Have you ever dreamt about winning the lottery? Honestly, I'm sure if you asked yourself, you'd say yes. Have you ever dreamt about what it would be like if you won £1 million or maybe £5 million? Maybe you think, well, I'd buy that brand new BMW. Or you might think, well, I'd buy a 6 bedroom mansion, have a swimming pool, hot tub. I'd have a life of luxury. Maybe you think, well, I'll go on a cruise. Or perhaps even buy a house in Spain. You know, millions of people, week by week, they dream about winning that amount of money, and they think if they had that money, it'd be amazing. Life would be wonderful. No more poverty, no more worrying about bills. But would it actually make you happy? And the Bible first I want to read here, the parable is the parable of the rich fool. And it's from Luke 12. And it says, somebody in the crowd said to him, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." Jesus replied, "Man, who appointed me as a judge or as an arbiter between you?" Then he said to them, "Watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. A man's life does not exist in the abundance of possessions." And he told them this parable. The ground of a certain rich man produced a good crop. He thought to himself, "What shall I do? I have no place to store my crops." Then he said, "This is what I'll do. I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones, and there I'll store all my grain and all my goods. And I'll say to myself, you have plenty of good things laid up for many years. Take life easy, eat, drink, and be merry." But God said to him, "You fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. Who then will get what you've prepared for yourself?" This is how it will be with anyone who stores up riches for himself, but is not rich towards God. And so that parable is very simple. This man had everything the world could offer. He had abundance, and he thought, it's all about me. I will build these barns, I'll put everything in there, and I'll take it easy. You know, wealth sometimes is a trap. And people say, if I'm rich, everything will be wonderful. Everything will be wonderful. Have heard the expression, money talks. Money talks. Unfortunately, mine just says goodbye. But actually, money is the root. As Timothy said, the love of money is the root of all evil. And if you look in the world today, you see there are so many billionaires. There are so many people who've got tremendous wealth. And it's always been like that. But here's the thing, money doesn't guarantee your happiness. Money doesn't, no matter how much money you've got, and you might have loads of money, you might have not much money, but money never guarantees that you'll be happy. Why is it when there's financial crashes or problems, like the Great Depression in history, why is it when things go wrong, people commit suicide? When they lose the money, they can't go on, because money doesn't satisfy. And having that money doesn't guarantee you a place in heaven. In the Bible, Jesus was in ministry, and one guy came up to him, and it's from Matthew 19. It said a man came up to Jesus and asked him, "Teacher, what good thing must I do to get eternal life?" "Why do you ask me what is good?" said Jesus. "There's only one who is good. If you want to enter life, obey my commandments." "Which one's the man required?" Jesus said, "Do not commit adultery, do not murder, do not steal, do not give false testimony, honour your mother and father, and love your neighbour as yourself." "All these I've kept," the young man said. "What shall I do? What do I lack?" Jesus answered him, "If you want to be perfect, go and sell your possessions, give it to the poor, then you'll have treasure in heaven. Then come follow me." When the man heard this, he went away sad, because he had great wealth. You see, the love of the money is the root of all evil. And so often people are drawn by that. And it's important not to love money, not to just live for money. And we are living in a world where there's so much value on things, on possessions, on wealth. but it doesn't satisfy. And here's the expression heard: there's nothing wrong with possessing wealth. What matters is when wealth possesses you. Wealth possesses you. It's our attitude. And in this parable that I read out, this man, all he thought about was himself. And because of that, Jesus said to him, "You fool, this very night you'll be taken away. Your life will be taken away. What will you do with your money?" And that's the important thing, is that as Christians, yes, there's nothing wrong with having wealth. There's nothing wrong with being rich. What matters is how we use that money. And in the story, the man just used it for himself. It's all about him, me, me, me. Because that was the culture then, and that's the culture today. But the message is, no, it's not right to just love money and allow money to possess you and live for money. But also, your life can be taken away at any moment. And so the challenge is, what can you do to help others? That man just thought about himself. Here's my challenge. What can you do? Do you tithe? Do you tithe? 10%? Do you give your money away? And that's a biblical principle, is to be able to give. So often people say, well, I can't afford to give. I say, I can't afford not to give. People say, I've earned this money, this is my money. And I would say, that's not your money, it's not my money, it's God's money, and He's entrusted it to you. And so my challenge to this morning is, maybe you could use the money you've got, that God's blessed you with, to give to others, to help other people. There are so many people who need supporting in ministry. There's so many people who are struggling at the moment financially, with food banks, looking for food banks. And so I'd say, maybe this morning, pray and say, God, what do you want me to do with my money to help others and give glory and honour to your name? Thank you.